portfolio right now. All of you who saw our announcement this morning, we're going to bring a 2011 Buick Regal into the portfolio. I think in terms of where we're going to end up with entry count, it'll be somewhere between 4 and 5 Buicks. In terms of what does it take for Buick to be successful, it needs to deliver on the promise of premium sports sedans and premium crossovers like what you see with the Enclave. We're getting a lot of success with our new Buick Enclave, Buick LaCrosse. As a matter of fact, and I don't know if you know this, but 50% of the buyers for Enclave are brand new to General Motors. So not only do we need, as the discussion we were just having here, to retain our current owners, but we also have to bring new people into the family. Our new Buick LaCrosse, a third of those buyers, because we just are in the midst of launching that, are brand new to GM as well. So we need to have every single vehicle live up to the promise of what Buick's all about, and not do some of the things we've done in the past, which have been rebadging other products. That's not going to cut it. Consumers are too smart, as they should be. They should be demanding excellence from us.
Are you conquesting from domestic or import brands on the Buick, like for the Enclave and the LaCrosse?
We're both, especially on Buick Enclave. We're conquesting Acura MDX consumers. We're also conquesting people who were in full-size utilities who want better fuel economy. Our Buick Enclave gets 24 miles per gallon on the highway, so they still want 3 rows of seats. They still want to be able to have lots of room to carry stuff and people, but they don't want to paint the pump. So it's a nice alternative. We're seeing the same thing too with the GMC Acadia.
And it's mostly, you're saying it's kind of equal domestic and
which is very encouraging.
But 50%, or a third of LaCrosse owners are coming out from outside the GM family.
Yes.
Right.
Yep.
And then say half and half is domestic and import.
Right.
Will there be a marketing campaign to educate customers on specifically the Volt, and as well as other hybrid and hydrogen cell technologies?
What do you think of our Volt?
Love it.
Yeah, me too. It can't get here quick enough. It's an automotive game changer for us. We're thrilled about it, and we're going to have a lot of education, not only with our dealers but with consumers. Probably a lot of that done in a digital environment, because we know 95% of customers, when they're in a shopping phase, go to the web to do their shopping, education, configurating, so on and so forth. So you're going to see us get very intensive in terms of explaining what this car does.
And
it's
how
very
it differs
different.
from
Absolutely.
the Prius.
Given that it's not going to have the same maintenance upside for the dealers that every other vehicle is going to have, how are you going to sell that to the dealers? What's the upside for them?
Garnering a new customer, and got to remember that from a dealer's standpoint, they don't just evaluate the business that they get on the warranty or the service side. They evaluate the relationship that they establish with these customers on a lifelong basis. In many instances, we don't have people just buy one vehicle from us. They have a household fleet, and they buy products throughout their lifetime. So especially a great example of all of these people that we've sold Buick Enclaves to, of whom 50% of them are brand new to GM, more than likely they have an import sedan in their driveway. So those are the first people we go to talk about the Buick LaCrosse. Right. To your example, we've got people who have bought Malibu hybrids, Saturn Aura hybrids, full-size utility hybrids from us, and granted they're in small numbers. Right. There's certainly nothing to write home about, but because those people are open to new types of technology, those will be some of the first people that we'll go to talk about Volt. But our dealers will make money from an accessory standpoint. They'll make money, off used vehicles that they'll sell to that family. So our dealers are not in the opinion that they're not going to be able to make money from Volt. They just want the Volt as soon as they can get it. They're very fired up about it. They would have liked it 2 years ago.
It'll be a halo car to bring people into the Chevy showroom.
Absolutely.
Because it's not going to fit everyone's needs, obviously.
No, and there is no silver bullet. When we think about going from gas-friendly to gas-free, The internal combustion engine is still going to be there, but we need to make it more fuel efficient, like what we did with the Equinox and Terrain, and how you can get 32 miles per gallon on the highway with that one, or the new Chevy Cruze. Did my partner in crime, Royce, talk about the new Chevy Cruze while he was in here?
A little bit.
Yeah, that it's going to get 40 miles per gallon on the highway. And it's so funny because when we go into focus groups with customers, they're like, 40 miles per gallon on the highway from like a Chevy Cruze? It's a hybrid, right? No, it's not. And so, you know, we need to be working on getting better fuel efficiency out of the current engines. We need to be continuing to work on hybrid technology, fuel cells, biofuels like E85, as well as electricity.
With the Volt, there's a lot of real estate in the Los Angeles area where I'm from, where when the EV1 was there, they had all the charging stations and whatnot. Has there been any type of plan to use that real estate to convert those to places where people can charge the Volt as opposed to, you know, doing it at home?
Yeah, two things, great questions. I had the privilege of living in California twice in the last 5 years. I just recently moved from the LA area, and prior to that I was living up in Northern California in Palo Alto. And we spend a lot of time talking with the government and making sure that we're going to have the right infrastructure. We have a whole team of people that are dedicated to working on, you know, what is the infrastructure going to look like? And the one thing that was so disappointing for me when I was living in California was the fact that, you know, we had millions of vehicles on the road that we could use E85, this biodiesel. There were 2 filling stations in the entire state of California. So, you know, as manufacturers, we can go invest all this money and we can try and reduce our dependency on foreign oil, but unless you got the infrastructure there,
Right.
guys, it's a hand in glove. You got to have both. So yes, we are working on that, and we've got a group called Government Relations, and they're working a lot on that. I had the privilege of going to the governor's home when I lived there, and had lots of discussion about that with the governor and Maria Shriver, and said, you know, we need to be successful, and if there's any state across the United States that's the poster child of where we need, you know, to do this right, it's California.
Did you see the grocery stores, you know, this parking space reserved for charging stations?
Even at
The
Costco,
banks and
when you go there.
whatnot, and
Exactly.
they're empty. It's like, wow, all that real estate is just went away.
Right, exactly.
What's next after May the Best Car Win? That has posed the questions to many buyers that GM offers, and you don't use the GM name in those commercials anymore. You use the 4 brands.
Right.
But it's given people the ability to consider the fact that GM vehicles are as good or better as the competition. What's the next step after that? Or are you guys going to stick with this for a while?
Sure. Great question. First of all, has everybody seen that work on May the Best Car Win?
Yes.
Yeah.
Anybody? What do you guys think? Thumbs up? Thumbs down? Was it a good idea?
All in all, I think it was a good idea.
What's the take rate on
Some
that?
consideration.
Yeah, great question. Okay, I'm going to answer all these. First of all, the May the Best Car Win campaign, when we launched it, one of the things that we thought was going to be really important, especially to put our money where our mouth was this 60-day satisfaction guarantee. And customers had the choice, so if I went in to buy a new Chevy Camaro, I had the ability to take the 60-day satisfaction guarantee, and if I didn't want to take that, I could take a $500 rebate. Of the 441,000 vehicles we sold from September 14th through the end of December, we've had 330 returns.
And weren't some of those for, like, a guy bought a Corvette, manual or automatic, you wanted to just trade it? So they didn't
Or a
just
guy
return
bought a
it.
Silverado pickup as an extended cab and determined that, hey, I think I'd rather have a crew cab because it's easier to put kids in car seats in a crew cab than it is an extended cab.
Do you have numbers on how many actually returned them and didn't stay with GM?
Of the 330, probably less than 50 people.
Okay.
Less than 50 people. But where we go from here, great question. So we ended the 60-day satisfaction guarantee because we were 0.007% of 1% take rate on it. And what we need to really focus on right now, based on what customers have told us, was, okay, that 60-day satisfaction guarantee, that was kind of nice, but what was a real surprise to me was that you guys have got a warranty for 5 years or 100,000 miles? Really? Your cars come with standard OnStar? Really? So what we learned from all of this was that, yep, people didn't want to return their cars, but they wanted to know more about the warranty and standard OnStar. So what the team is working on right now is the next round of advertising, very head-to-head competition, but talking a lot more about the warranty